I had spoken to you about an exercise that will help you get the 16th note in the bass drum around the 8th note in the hi-hat in the right hand. And so if you already know, I've heard you count through the 16th notes, you got a good handle on that. So we count 4 16th notes to the beat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and so if we're playing 8th notes, we're only playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The E's and the U's go in between. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So we're going to play the 8th notes in the right hand, 2 and 4 on the snare drum, and we're going to do a little thing with, I don't know if you know what a permutation is, but a permutation is all the mathematical possibilities of those 4 16th notes. And if you think about it, if you just played 1 16th note on the beat, it would just be a quarter note. If you played trumpet, it would be different because you'd be concerned with the duration. Trumpet player would play da, 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 might even connect them, da. Drum is a short staccato instrument, so all we're concerned about is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the sheet I'm going to send you, the first exercise in there, they're all 2 beats long. They're actually 1 beat repeated. We play in 4/4 times, so we're going to repeat that measure twice to make 1 measure of 4. So the first one is just 4 quarter notes. The notes up, you play with the stems up, you play with your left hand. With the stems down, you play with your bass drum. So that first 2 beat measure is just going to be, here's the 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Simple enough, just the quarter notes. Then next, as we move over to exercise 2, we're just going to shift over 1 16th note. So instead of playing the beat, the number, we're going to play the one immediately after, which is E, 1 E and 2 E and you might have had, if you took the music classes with Mr. Capaldi, you might have described those 4 16th notes as takadimi. 1 E and takadimi, same thing. We're going to put the snare drum first on the E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E. So when we did the quarter notes, they fell with the hi-hat on the beats. Now the E falls in between those 8th notes in the right hand. We're going to move on now and do the and, the 3rd 16th note, 1 E and. Now and is an 8th note, so it falls with the 8th note here. I mentioned in the introduction to this that you're going to play the backbeat with the snare drum. Don't worry about that. You're going to play the written line with the snare drum. So ands, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and with the bass drum, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now we play the 4th 16th note, takadimi, 1 E and A. Anticipates the next beat by 1 16th note. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, and 2 E and 3 E and Okay, so those are the 4 single 16th note possibilities for each, assuming that we're playing a repetition of each beat exactly the same way. Now we go to groups of 2. So when we play 1E, starting on the beat, 1E, the 1 will be with the 8th note in the right hand. The E will be in the crack, just like it was when we played the E by itself. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Now, because we have 2 notes and 2 sound sources, the snare drum and the bass drum, we can play one of each. And so the first one will be the snare drum first and the bass drum second. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Reverse, put the bass drum first. 1 and a 2 and a and a and a and a and a and a